The 2025 NFL Draft may be over, but that doesn't mean we've seen the end of the Blockbuster trade season.
Get Kirk Cousins. I think you just say, we need a backup. We've got a guy that knows our offense, knows our system.
So today, we present to you Blockbuster NFL trades that could still happen before Week 1. Broncos land another ex-49er and acquire Brandon Iayuk. Coming off a surprise playoff appearance, the Denver Broncos prioritized their defense this offseason, signing all-pro safety Talanoa Hufanga and linebacker Dre Greenlaw before using their first-round pick on Texas corner Jahdae Barron. Two great moves and all, but we'd still like them to add one more proven pass catcher in order to help Bo Nix and Courtland Sutton. With the Broncos championship window just now opening, why shouldn't GM George Paton and head coach Sean Payton make the ultimate win-now move? In March, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported that the 49ers were open to trading wide receiver Brandon Iayuk, less than a year after handing him a 4-year contract extension worth $120 million. The 49ers are retooling after a disappointing 2024 season, having already bid farewell to the likes of Hufanga, Greenlaw, Deebo Samuel, Aaron Banks, Leonard Floyd, Javon Hargrave, Charvarius Ward, Snuffy, Al, Leo, and Little Mo at the Gimpy leg. So with Ayuk's hefty contract about to kick in, the 49ers could trade the two-time 1,000-yard receiver while his value is still high. And the Broncos should be all over that. The Broncos should swing for the fences and offer their 2026 first-round pick to the 49ers for Iayuk. Now, you have a Super Bowl caliber offense with Nix, Iayuk, Sutton, Ingram, and Bryant. San Fran clears $120 million, gets an extra first-round pick, and can still churn out a quality offense with Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Ricky Pearsall, and Juwan Jennings. See? Everybody wins. Vikings bring back Kirk Cousins as insurance policy. The Minnesota Vikings are so high on 2024 first-round pick J.J. McCarthy to the point where A, they were comfortable letting Sam Darnold walk after a career year, and B, passed on Aaron Rodgers despite his wish to pull a Brett Favre. But McCarthy hasn't played a single snap, having missed his entire rookie season recovering from knee surgery. We legitimately do not know if he's NFL ready and how he'll actually perform following a serious injury. If you're Minnesota, why not have all the bases covered and bring back a familiar face as an insurance policy? Just in case. The Atlanta Falcons are eager to get rid of Kirk Cousins after benching him late last season, in year one of a $180 million contract no less. Michael Penix Jr. is the guy now, and Atlanta simply can't pay that much money to a backup QB. Cousins would surely be keen to restructure his deal to facilitate a trade instead of just collecting paychecks as a clipboard holder. Not to mention that the 4-time Pro Bowler played his best football under Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. With Atlanta just wanting an easy out of Cousins' deal, the Vikings should offer a 2026 third-round pick for the veteran QB. If McCarthy is healthy and proves to be a quality starter, great. You still have the league's best backup as insurance. And if McCarthy isn't ready, well hey, Cousins can step in and take over a star-studded offense he's already familiar with. This is a win-win all around. Green Bay sends Jair Alexander packing to Buffalo. Green Bay's all-pro corner didn't sound enthused about the idea of returning to the Packers in 2025, though he is a top 5 corner when healthy. The reality is that Green Bay is paying far too much money to a guy who has played only 34 total games over the last 4 seasons. The Packers had a top 10 defense last season with Alexander missing 10 games, thanks largely to the emergence of all-pro safety Xavier McKinney. With a 2025 cap hit of $24.636 million, why wouldn't Green Bay want to trade Alexander now rather than keep and risk losing him to injury again in 2025? Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills were oh so close to a Super Bowl 59 appearance last season despite ranking a lackluster 24th against the pass. They brought back Tre'Davious White and used their first-round pick on Maxwell Hairston. But why stop there? The Bills' defense has been non-existent in their 4 playoff losses to Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs. So, how about trading for the 2-time Pro Bowler to complete the makeover in the secondary and push Buffalo that much closer to toppling Kansas City in January? Buffalo could maybe offer Green Bay a conditional 2026 4th-round pick for Alexander that can become a 3rd-rounder based on playing time. This could be the type of move that finally propels Buffalo through the AFC and into the Super Bowl. Jaguars rolled the dice on Kyle Pitts. Pitts was considered a generational tight end prospect entering the 2021 NFL Draft. The Falcons loved Pitts so much that they used the number 4 pick on him, even though it wasn't a position of need. And sure, you know what? Pitt looked like a budding star in his rookie year, catching 68 passes for 1,026 yards and a touchdown. However, inexplicably, it's just been downhill downhill ever since. His most productive year since 2022 came in year 3 when Pitts had 53 catches for 667 yards and 3 touchdowns. Playing in Atlanta's rush-heavy offense with Drake London and Darnell Mooney emerging as the Falcons' top 2 pass catchers has made Pitts an afterthought in Atlanta. The Jaguars made a blockbuster trade to move up and take two-way phenom Travis Hunter with the number 2 pick, pairing him with 2024 breakout star Brian Thomas Jr. With Trevor Lawrence slowly inching toward now or never territory, this is a really good time for the Jags to get another young offensive playmaker on a bargain price. Jacksonville can offer Atlanta a 2026 third-round pick for Pitts, keeping in mind that they got 2 future third-rounders from the Detroit Lions to move up for Isaac Tesla. Atlanta may as well trade Pitts rather than lose him for nothing in 2026 free agency. And Pitts just might hit a ceiling on a pass-heavy Jags offense led by Lawrence, Hunter, and Thomas. Jalen Ramsey stays in Florida, lands with the Bucs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have finished with football's 4th worst pass defense in consecutive seasons, and their leaky secondary was especially exposed in the heartbreaking playoff loss to the Washington Commanders. The Miami Dolphins are shopping future Hall of Famer and cornerback Jalen Ramsey, who really shouldn't cost much given his age and hefty salary. Ramsey will surely want to play for a competitive team, and he could single-handedly transform that Bucs secondary. With Ramsey available at a discount price, the Bucs can probably get him for nothing more than a 2026 4th-round draft pick. There you go, Todd Bowles, a new shutdown corner and ball-hawking specialist to help the defense regain its elite form that we saw from 2019 to 2022. Bears grab another weapon for Caleb. Grab Travis Etienne Jr. The Chicago Bears offseason had one focus: find help for Caleb Williams. And more help. And more. And even more. Just keep getting him help. He needs it. They bolstered the leaky O-line by bringing in veteran stalwarts Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman, and Jonah Jackson. They then used their first 2 picks on tight end Colston Loveland and wide receiver Luther Burden III. So, what more can they do with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and DeAndre Swift already in the fold? Well, how about getting Jaguars star running back and 2-time 1,000-yard rusher Travis Etienne Jr.? Tank Bigsby had a big sophomore year and took over as the Jags' new lead running back over Etienne. Not to mention, the latter is entering his contract year. Chicago should offer the Jaguars 2026 5th and 7th round picks in exchange for Etienne. And if he plays well, nobody said GM Ryan Poles can't sign him to an extension. Steelers and Seahawks offseason blockbuster Part 2, starring Kenneth Walker III. Aaron Rodgers or not, the Steelers could use a real boost in the backfield. They opted not to re-sign 4-time 1,000-yard rusher Najee Harris, and asking career backup Jalen Warren to immediately step in as the new RB1 is a pretty tall task. Seattle Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III was widely mentioned in trade rumors ahead of the draft. They have another capable RB1 in Zach Charbonnet and just drafted former Oregon State and Miami standout Damian Martinez. Seahawks GM John Schneider should probably trade Walker now instead of watching him land elsewhere in 2026 free agency. And the Steelers, having just acquired Metcalf from the Hawks, could further strengthen their offense by pairing Walker with Warren in the backfield. Pittsburgh can offer Seattle a 2026 4th-round pick plus a 2027 6th-rounder to Seattle for Walker, whose arrival would put the cherry on top of a stellar Steelers offseason. Commanders win the Trey Hendrickson sweepstakes. It's obvious at this point that Hendrickson and the budget-conscious Cincinnati Bengals won't agree on a long-term deal. We know Cincy is in win-now mode, but man, you cannot let a superstar of Hendrickson's caliber leave for nothing in 2026 free agency. The Commanders are coming off a surprise run to the NFC Championship game, but they're going to need more pass rushing help if they're to build off the Cinderella-like run. Their 2024 sacks leader Dante Fowler Jr. just returned to the Cowboys. Hendrickson has racked up 57 sacks over 4 years in Cincy. You think Dan Quinn would like that kind of production? A true superstar edge rusher is the only thing Washington is lacking right now after all. Washington gave up a 2026 2nd-round pick to the Houston Texans for Laramie Tunsil. A 1st-round pick is way too high for Hendrickson. So, I don't know, maybe a package built around a 2027 2nd-round pick and a 2026 5th-round pick could complete this deal. TJ Watt joins the Lions' pride. The 2021 Defensive Player of the Year single-handedly fueled trade speculation when he shared the following photo on his Instagram story ahead of the draft. Watt is entering his age 31 season and contract year. He has never sniffed a postseason victory. The Steelers have always been cautious about committing long-term to aging talents, so this wouldn't be the worst time for the two sides to amicably agree to a divorce. Watt will want to play for a contender, and the Detroit Lions check that box off. Not to mention, they desperately need more pass rushing help, as evidenced by their defensive breakdowns after Aiden Hutchinson's season-ending injury. With a great mix of young and veteran talent, the Lions shouldn't be afraid to be ultra-aggressive in their pursuit of TJ Watt. So, how about acquiring the future Hall of Famer in exchange for a 2026 2nd-round pick? pick. It's a hefty return, yes, but one worth making with the Lions as close as ever to a Super Bowl title. For Pittsburgh, that is a nice return for an aging and injury-prone asset while they focus more on improving their offense. But hey, which other blockbuster NFL trades would you like to see this offseason? How likely do you think the trades we suggested are? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.